Welcome back, friends. It's Anders. Today we are making sangria. Now there are a number of ways to make this drink, and a few of you have asked me what my recipe is. Truth be told, before prepping for this video, I didn't have a set recipe. It's one of those things where I would make it with whatever I had on hand because sangria is extremely forgiving. But because of this video, I put together a recipe I am proud of. This is gonna be great for a party. It's best enjoyed if you make it a few hours or even the night before you are ready to enjoy it. And it's gonna be straightforward. Let's get to the point where we're drinking it. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more sips, tips, and recipes. And let's go make some sangria. To the bar. Today's video is brought to you by Viski. Viski makes high quality barware, wine tools, ice molds, and stylish glassware for your every drinking need. Warm weather's finally here, so today I'm here to talk about some tropical inspired glasses. This is the Tiki Double Old Fashioned glass, perfect for a Mai Tai or a Shrunken Skull. Then the taller Crystal Tiki glass, which I like to use for fog cutters, zombies, bali balis, and the ceramic High Tide mug, which is great for just about any tropical concoction you can come up with. It's also nice that these glasses are larger in size. Generally speaking, you go through a lot of crushed ice when it comes to tropical drinks. So you want a vessel that will hold the volume of all of that ice. Viski also makes the accessories and accoutrements such as these copper garnish picks and this copper straw that looks like bamboo, but it's not. That's not all. You are going to need to crush your ice, as we talked about moments ago. And for that, Viski has a Lewis bag and ice mallet. I have to be honest here, this is my second ice mallet from Viski. I've been using this one for years, 100% beechwood, sturdy, holds up, and now I have two. You don't need two, but you can have one. Go to, where is my thing? Check out what Viski has to offer by going to the link that I will put down below and use the code ANDERS15 to receive 15% off site-wide. So if you are not into the tropical drinks, use it for something else. Thank you, Viski. Back to the film. Sangria is essentially a chilled wine punch. Now, it's most common to use red wine as its base. In fact, sangria refers to the color of the punch being red and looking like blood. But you don't have to use red wine. You can use white wine, a rosé, sparkling wine. These are all good options for a base to sangria. As far as the other ingredients, there's gonna be fruit added, there's sugar added, sometimes there's spices added, as well as a harder alcohol. Sometimes you top it off with soda water. There's a lot of different interpretations here. Now, it was popularized in 1964 at the World's Fair in New York, where it was served at the Spanish Pavilion. But that's not where it originated. In fact, this has most likely been around for a very long time, and we don't know its origin because drinks like this were served across cultures for centuries. But the template is pretty easy, so follow along, have fun with it. Now the booze. To make this recipe, we're gonna need red wine, orange liqueur, sherry, freshly squeezed lemon juice, a rich Demerara syrup, an orange, a lemon, and an apple. The wine is the base. We're gonna use this whole bottle. Any red wine will do, but I do prefer a lighter red. Pinot Noir is great. I'm using Beaujolais. For the orange liqueur, I'm using Grand Marnier. I like how rich it is. Curacao would be really good with this as well. If you want, you could use a triple sec, something like Cointreau, but it isn't gonna be quite as rich and sweet. As for the sherry, this is a semi-dry sherry. This is an Olorosso because I have it, but Amontillado would be great. In fact, any fortified wine is probably gonna be pretty good. Madeira, vermouth. You could even use an Amaro, but I would probably go less on the Amaro because it has bigger flavor than some of these other options. For the juice, it's really common to do freshly squeezed orange juice, but I like the acid and the brightness you get from the lemon juice, so that's why we're doing that. To balance this lemon juice, we have the rich Demerara syrup. Once again, this is gonna offer some depth and flavor, a little bit of texture, and the fruit, you can do whatever you want, whatever's seasonal. This is pretty traditional. You have an orange, lemon, and an apple. I specifically chose a green apple because I like how it looks in the red drink. All right, this out of the way. First things first, you're gonna want a large vessel to hold all this. A nice pitcher, you could use a big jar, doesn't matter, a bowl. Now this isn't gonna be a massive amount, but we're using a full bottle of wine. You can scale it up if you need to. You can also scale it down. In fact, when I came up with this recipe, I wanted something that would be easy to scale down to a single serving. So in the description, I will also put a single serving rendition of this recipe. To start, we want to prep our fruit. I'm gonna slice up half an orange, drop it right in there, Save the other half. And same with the lemon. I'm going to do half a lemon, cut it up into wheels. Remove the seeds if you can. You can put in as much or as little fruit as you want here. I'm putting in 4 wheels of lemon, but if you wanted 5 or 8, it doesn't matter. Okay, now the apple. You can use half the apple. I'm going to cut this up right along the core and slice it up. I don't like it diced up because it gets caught up in my drink. So I like fine slices. That should be pretty good. Yeah, there, that looks pretty great, I would say. Now we can start adding the ingredients. So let's start with the rich Demerara syrup. 3 ounces of rich Demerara syrup. If you want, you could use granulated sugar and then let it sit on the fruit for a while. But because we're going right into drinking this, I want a syrup because it'll incorporate easier. To that, 4 ounces of fresh lemon juice. This is gonna be half a cup. We will do the same with the orange liqueur, Grand Marnier. 4 ounces. And now the sherry. Let's do 6 ounces of sherry, or 3/4 of a cup. And once your bottle's open, store it in the fridge. Sherry does not last forever. Give it a stir. I wanna incorporate everything. The syrup might wanna sink to the bottom, so make sure you get everything all mixed up. I have tasted just this without the wine, and it is super tasty. Now, if you are doing it the way I am and you plan on enjoying it pretty much right away, chill your bottle of red, and go ahead and dump in the full bottle of red wine. I hope this fits. I haven't tried it with this pitcher. Woo, just fits. Stir to incorporate everything. I tried this recipe with cloves and cinnamon. A lot of people will add baking spices to this, but it's a fine line. For me, it starts to taste like a holiday drink, and I want a light, refreshing summer drink, so I'm leaving the spices out. Of course, if you want to put them in there, go right ahead. I also didn't add any brandy. Some of you might be thinking, where's the brandy? But I want a more sessionable drink. So that's why I went with the sherry. Not that I have to justify anything. Now, if you want this to taste even better, then cap it, put it in the fridge for a few hours, or even better, overnight. That's gonna allow the flavors from the fruit to get into the wine and the flavors of the wine to get into the fruit. But since I'm serving this right away, I'm gonna garnish it with fresh fruit. We're gonna serve this on the rocks. Traditionally, it would be in a wine glass, but I'm doing smaller highball glasses. Let's see if I can pour this without getting it everywhere. Go, there we are. If you want, you could top this off with a little bit of soda water, kind of lengthen it out, get it a little bubbly, but personally, I like it as is. Drop in some fruit. Okay, so there we have sangria. Cheers.
Ah!
Welcome, Oz.
Thank you.
Okay, so here we have 2 little cups of sangria.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, It's fruity and tangy and light.
The sherry, you get a little bit at the end. It's not overpowering. You do get the orange, but it's not a dominant flavor. It's mostly the wine. And I think that's because we haven't really let it sit. If we were to let it sit, all those other flavors would come out more.
Too bad we didn't let it sit. Or did we?
Or did we?
Or did we? We did. Well, Anders did. I didn't do anything.
Last night, I made a single serving version and put it in a jar so we could taste it after it had sat. It's been about 12 hours now.
Let's compare. I picked these glasses out.
She did.
Ooh. Oh, it's different.
Oh, it's very different.
It's different.
I get more sherry, I get more orange. There's just a lot more going on.
Okay, so for best results, overnight.
Overnight. Thank you for your support in watching these videos. Thank you, Viski, for sponsoring today's video. Those of you who have gotten the merch already, thank you. And if you haven't, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Check us out on Patreon, sign up for the newsletter, like, subscribe, share this video with friends, make some sangria for them, and invite them to the party. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.